Hey, it's another episode of Spontaneous Chuck, everybody. It's been forever and a day, and we're getting, boy, look at that. Is that not the sexiest hair you ever seen in your life? Look at that. Is that not awesome or what? Is that not, say, 40 years old or what? 40 years old with cuts on your hand like that? Man, I'm just falling a freaking apart. It's great. Anyway, check it out. A lot of people got some new phones over Christmas, and I've been getting a lot of questions concerning, in particular, the battery life of the Evo. I love this phone. I absolutely love this phone. But one thing that it does do is it eats batteries, and that's sort of like with all Android phones, because they're so highly customizable, and they do give you the option to run that thing at full blast. And you can turn it down, too. Just because you have it doesn't mean you actually have to run it. But we're going to run around today, and I'm going to show you a couple little tips that I do to get my battery life up. I normally get around 5 hours of uptime, about 11 hours of sleep time total. Or 11 hours total, I should say, out of a battery. About 5 hours of actually awake time. That means when I'm actually playing on it. But now what I do, because I'm out on the mail route all the time, I went ahead on eBay and I bought a couple spare batteries, which you can do the same thing. I got 2 batteries for the Evo for $10, free shipping, and I also got the charger. So when I come home, I get this little battery like this, and I just plug it right into here like this, and I plug it right into the wall. Pow! Right, there's the battery. Bang. And I have 3 batteries. And you know what? I use my phone, and I turn the junk up on it, because that's why I bought the damn thing. I didn't want a feature phone. I wanted an Evo. And with an Evo, I wanted push technology for the emails, for the instant messaging. I wanted live wallpapers. I want to do video. I want to listen to music. I want to do all kinds of junk on it. That's why I bought the damn thing, right? And $10 more to buy a couple batteries. BFD is what I say. Anyway, let's roll over. This isn't necessarily pertaining just to the Evo. This is going to be for Android in particular because, like I said, they're pretty customizable, and that's what I love about it. We had an iPhone for about 28 days, and it was just the most boring phone. You could do apps on it. You could do some crazy junk. It looks cool. You could say you have an iPhone. But as far as like making my brain work, it didn't do it. Moo, please. Freddie, please. You guys go do something else? I'm getting attacked by dogs down here. Anyway, let's run over a couple things here that I do. Now, this isn't going to say it's going to be, the best thing to do, because I do have my phone rooted, and I have a couple different programs running on it to control, like the CPU and the battery life and all that. But this is going to be stuff that if you don't have your phone rooted, or even if you do and you don't realize it, you can do. The first thing is, it's going to eat a lot of battery first of all. I mean, you have this big screen. This baby is 4.5 or 4.3 inches, I think, something like that. It's a big screen, and with a big screen comes, you have to power it. You also have a lot of push technology in it with your emails, and Facebook will just eat the battery to pieces, especially if you have your friend stream in as a widget. So, like I said, this is just what I do. And before we even do that, on these batteries, you'll notice when you charge your battery up, and when you charge your battery up, once again, this is all coming from me because everybody has their own theories. You should turn your phone off. And the reason you turn your phone off is because as you're charging your battery, of course, the processes of the phones are working. But once that battery charges, then the charging stops. So if you go to bed and it's like 8 o'clock, that's because by the time I go to bed, believe it or not. It's 8 o'clock. You charge your phone up. You leave the phone on. It might be done charging at 10:30. At 10:30 comes around, the charging quits, but the battery's still on because the phone's not turned off, right? So by the time you wake up the next morning, you know what? It might not be, because it's in sleep time, you might not notice it actually on your menu, your old battery meter, but in actuality, that thing hasn't been charged for 6 or so many hours, and then you start playing on it. You're like, well, holy shit, where's the battery at? Another thing these batteries have are an overcharging circuit. There's actually a circuit. If you would take this battery apart, there's actually a circuit right there that keeps it from getting to 100%, and that's just so you don't blow the thing up from overcharging. So that's, I don't have no problems with that. Anyway, let's go ahead and do a couple of things first. Once again, as I said, this is a big-ass screen, baby. And as you see, I'm running some live wallpaper on there. If you're worried about battery life, keep the live wallpapers off, because not only does that take CPU, but depending on your wallpaper, you have your different colors, and it's just gonna take a lot. But the two things that I can tell you that really helped me a lot, and how to get to this, and this is going to be for all Android phones in particular. You have your menu button. All phones are going to be different, but they're sort of the same. Hit your menu button. Go to your settings. Click on settings then go down to accounts and sync. This is where it's going to show you everything that your phone's syncing with. I have Facebook, a couple Googles, news, weather, all that jazz, right? What I do is, because I don't necessarily need my email because I'm not near my phone all the time, and there's really normally nothing that important happening, either even on Facebook, that I need to have that friend stream constantly updating because I'm never looking at it. If I want to look at it, I get the phone out and then I go to it like I would on a computer, right? So what I do, you have the top two. You have your background data and you have your auto sync. Please. I go ahead and turn that auto sync off, and the reason why is, like I said, I'm not lazy. I'll just go and do it myself. I mean, I check my email myself, and I'll do my Facebook. I don't need the phone to do that because it just eats up batteries. If you do have like a lot of Google Calendar and things like that, in your contacts, because all your contacts will be backed up with your Gmail account. You can go ahead, like in the morning when you first turn it on, hit that auto sync, and all that stuff gets backed up in your Gmail account. So if you get new phones or whatever, so that's a good tip. That would be a good tip to do at least once in the morning. Let it run through, and then turn it off. I mean, really, because battery is more important than anything else. The second thing, if you go back to your main settings menu, go to your display, and then look down for brightness. And see, I have mine turned down way low, and it's still plenty bright. Way low. Some people like to have it glaring hot. That's a big screen. If you have it super bright, guess what? You're going to eat a lot of battery up. I don't have the auto brightness on. I have it turned off, and I have it constantly set right there. It's going to suck in the sunlight, but you know what? To be honest with you, all touch screens really suck in the daylight. My screen timeout is at 1 minute. If I can't get this done in 1 minute, I'll just hit the button, and it comes back on again. But that's just some of the things. You know what? Hopefully it works for you. But like I said, you don't buy a Mustang for the gas mileage. You bought a big phone. This thing is just full of energy, and it uses a lot of energy to get what you want done. So use it, and don't worry about it. It's just a battery. Charge the thing up. Go on eBay, buy a couple more batteries. You know what? Some people say, well, I shouldn't have to. Well, this isn't a freaking feature phone, right? This baby is a $600 freaking phone, and it can basically run the space shuttle from my freaking living room. So you know what? If it runs down the batteries, and this is all Android phones, the hell with it. Let it run the battery down. But those are a couple things you can do there. And if you have any other tips, listen, because I'm not the super genius that I portray myself to be, even though I do have a pretty good way of screwing these phones up. This is my home screen. It's ADW, by the way. Go ahead and leave a comment underneath this to give us some tips and stuff, because you know what, like I said, I don't know everything, and I like to learn things. I like to learn different perspectives on things, and there's a lot of people that have Android phones out now that might need some tips and tricks like that, and get yourself involved in it. If you have any questions, ask, because you want to be happy with your phone. That's the most important thing. You don't want to get this and say, gee whiz, this thing, I can't, it sucks. Because it doesn't suck. It uses batteries, but it doesn't suck. So go ahead and do that, and hopefully we get some funny content, I should say, coming up here, and we'll get it all fired up. Hope you guys had a great holiday. I've just been fighting the snow, as you can tell. My hair's growing out. I need to trim up the beard a little bit. It's looking like freaking Grizzly Adams. Yeah, and I'm still drinking beer, so don't sweat that either. All right. So anyway, Moo, come up here. Let's see, real quick. Hurry up. You got a couple seconds. Come here. We got a couple seconds. There's Moo. You've been bugging me the whole time. Get the hell out of here. Anyway, until next time, you guys, if you have any questions concerning your Android phone, please feel free to ask or write it in the comments below this, and somebody's going to Dave will have the answer, or Chris might. All of us, we get together and we talk about phones all the time. Somebody's going to know the answer to this. Ryan, he'll know. He's been modding his junk too. Anyway, until next time, everybody, peace out, babies. I love you, Spontaneous Chuck. Until next time, I'm drinking beer and playing on my phone. Bring on the snow. Not really. All right, love you, Mina. Peace out.